All right, we'll call the March meeting CV Board of Directors to order. We don't have anybody here for public comments, so we will move to the approval of the minutes from February.
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Carries. And that takes us to the approval of vouchers. Got a chance to review that. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Monthly reports, January.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are pleased that we're continuing to have a positive net income, and also we did spectacular on our DVR. Dusty, if you don't care to share that with the board, that'd be great.
Sure. Our dynamic voltage regulation program, DVR, set a new record by reducing our peak demand by 12,330 kW, saving ratepayers $140,439 this month alone, with a year-to-date savings of over $440,000 and a combined virtual power plant savings of over $650,000. Cold weather in January led to higher sales. Despite a 3 payroll month, the electric department's net margin is exceeding our forecast by over $1.1 million for the year to date. For water and sewer, while our residential water and sewer sales continue to exceed our forecast, our sales for our commercial, industrial, and public authorities are down by over $130,000 year to date. Our combined net margin is a positive $467,000 year to date. Be happy to answer any questions.
We know what that dip was from.
Primarily one customer.
One customer.
Shut down for a couple of weeks, or
I think just lower production overall, but I'm not
they back up.
positive.
What's up? Are they back up running more? I think they're still down.
I think they were up a lot last year.
Oh, they're
Down.
Oh, okay.
I see. Yeah, I know one big customer, they shut down in December, so that should have impacted January.
How much of a variance you say though? You think caused it? Or I mean, ballpark. What was it?
130,000.
130.
For the
We have one customer's down 36 in the water and 61 in the sewer. So you're looking at 100,000
That's a lot.
just with our largest customer.
Mm.
You know,
Interesting. So that's going to occur for a while, you think? Just given what they're maybe.
Hard to say.
Okay, I'm just curious. More just setting up for financials in the future.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Reports? Entertain a motion to approve.
motion to approve.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All right, project status reports.
Well, we've got a lot going on. I think we're tracking three major projects in electric, and we've taken one off. If you don't care, Todd, to go ahead and share that with the board and see if there's any questions on that.
Yes, sir. Like Greg said, we've got 3 projects, or active projects that we're currently tracking, hard projects there. First is the Granite Road here, which has been on here for several months now. We're continuing to move along very well on that project. Initially, I think, as I mentioned to you, we had a lot of rock on that project, but we've kind of gone along. All the poles are set now. We're pulling wire and about to start tearing out some old stuff. But so we expect that to easily be completed by the end of April, as was scheduled. The Harold Lane job there, we are now really just kind of getting into the very beginning stages of it, but have no reason it shouldn't be completed by the end of June. And the Buffalo Road job, which was approved last month, we still haven't, or kind of pre-construction staging on that one. We should start it here later this month and be done with it by the end of the fiscal year as well. As Greg noted, we did remove one project from the active project list here, which was Mr. Hollingsworth subdivision there, the section for the townhomes between Sinking Springs and Highway 61. We talked to them here a couple weeks ago, kind of get a status update where they were on that, because we're just waiting on them to put in conduits and vaults and pedestals. And the word came back to us, well, they were looking at redesigning some of that, because the D.R. Horton came back to them about the number of buildings, units per building. They're looking to do some redesigning on that. So as of now, we're just kind of waiting on them for what redesigning may go on. Then once they're ready to move on, we'll put it back on here and move forward with it. So any questions on any of that?
We anticipate any big changes on our side?
I wouldn't. No big changes. I mean, because the area is pretty defined. It may go from 4 units to 5 units or something. So maybe a transformer change here or there from one side to the next, but nothing major I can anticipate on that.
They're responsible for all change orders, all right?
They're correct. That's in the contract. If anything we have to change, they're responsible for additional cost on that.
In the water and sewer, we're tracking two, and downtown, we're going to be tracking that for a long time. I can tell you, there's no doubt about that. Greg, you want to talk about that because it's going to be a mess for a long time.
It is. Currently, they started on Market Street with the sewer construction. The intention is that they're working, digging and laying the portion of it up Freddie Fagan Way and then behind the businesses there. Here in a few weeks, CIPP Cured in Place contractor is going to move in on site and they'll start working down Main Street with that as well. So there is activity going on downtown now if you drove down through there lately.
Yeah, I
And,
saw where it was closed, I guess, for a day or two, and then it was open, and I thought, man, that was faster than I expected.
Yeah,
They've not made it yet.
yeah, they just crossing Market Street right there. That's where they's crossing it at. And the Middle Road Force Main project has begun construction. If you drove down the boulevard towards the interstate, you see where we're installing the 12-inch force main, and that is going good, real good. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Any questions?
What are we feeding with that Miller Road project? Is that,
Well, we've got a force main down there, and the problem is when it was designed, the size as it graduates up the hill, it was surcharging so hard that what essentially we're doing is we're expanding the size of the pipe to make that grade more gradual and to be able to handle that because we had 2 or 3 blowouts on that the way that was hit. So essentially, that's really not so much an expansion in capacity as it is a better design to minimize any kind of a break in there. A couple of breaks in big sewer force main, not a good thing. Greg, did I say anything that you're going to tell me later? Oh my God, I can't believe you said
you're
that.
spot on.
Awesome, thanks for the updates on the projects. So that takes us to the revised OSHA program of compliance. I took a look at it. If you wouldn't mind just kind of calling out any changes.
Sure, and I'll speak a minute and I'll turn it over to Todd because Todd's really redlined all that. But it's pretty easy. We're required to update that at least every 7 years, and it takes a board approval for that update. And really, what's updated are the names. 7 years ago we had Ernie on there and things like that. So you have to update the the contacts for the personnel, the number of employees, and then I think we did a revision for a link to an online form for reporting certain types of accidents. Is that right?
That sums it up. That's it in a nutshell.
So I mean, there's nothing other than names, contact personnel, and a link to an online form.
Okay, great. That's what I saw when I looked at it, and it looked like the board's involvement was really just the approval.
That's right.
Right. Awesome. Any questions? All right, we need a motion to approve.
Summit.
second,
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, takes us to other business.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our director of water and sewer was attending the Tennessee Association of Utility Districts. I believe he got back today. Is that right,
Mhm.
Greg? And each year, the TAUD conducts a contest to determine the best tasting water across its 11 regions in the state of Tennessee. And this year, we are in Region 3, which serves Anderson, Campbell, Claiborne, Morgan, Scott, and Union counties held its best tasting water contest today. And with Greg there at the meeting, it was announced that CUB won the title of the best tasting water in Region 3, which is really good. And the winners from each region will compete in a statewide contest to determine the best tasting water in Tennessee. And then, depending on how that goes, the overall winners across the country will be in competition in the national competition at the Great American Water Taste Test held in D.C. as part of the National Rural Water Association, their annual rally. So we are now the reigning champions in Region 3, and we'll be on to the state in the months ahead, and we'll say it'll all end there. So, but still, that's always good, and we appreciate that recognition.
Do you have a secret sauce?
Secret sauce. It's a quality of water.
Cold, high quality H2O.
We've got a good water source too. The Clinch is really good. All right, and finally, I'd like to read a letter. We get good letters and bad letters, and that is we get letters that are praising us, and we get letters that are not so complimentary from time to time. And I normally don't bring any of them to you unless I think that they're going to escalate into something else. But I want to bring this one to you because it touched our hearts. It was so sweet. I've got copies if anybody wants one, but it was dated March the 8th, and I think it reflected the day before. And I looked up historically. This is in Bryceville, and the temperature it was in the mid 30s. The wind gusts were 28, and the snow was spitting. And the gentleman writes, friends, ages 86 and 76 is the way he starts, live on a tree-lined road with no close neighbors. And a tree fell over the road, cutting electric off, and we were trapped in freezing winter weather with no power, no phone, and no heat. All day we were waiting and afraid. We saw truck lights, and your people cut the tree. And night was approaching, and your men worked into the night. They put in a new pole, and we could see men up on the new pole. It snowed and it was cold. What heroes to us. Please convey to those wonderful people our thanks. I'm in an electric wheelchair and unable to walk. Your company saved us. And then he signs it. And from an 88-year-old man to take the time to write that, we were touched. I've got to tell you, we're going to make sure that the crews associated with that get that information too. But I wanted to share you the sweetness of a sweet letter. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
That's great. We love to hear that too, always. And please express our thanks from the board. To those
Thank you.
groups
We
who
will.
All right. Any other business?
No, sir.
Steve?
No, sir.
All right. Make a motion. Adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and a
Question, do we have any sort of awards program, recognition, or bonus program for somebody like that who gets that kind of?
No, we don't. We don't because the first time would be great, and then after that, when does that happen? We've got our water and sewer crews. I watched them the other night. I mean, it was freezing cold. They're out there with a water break. Now, generally, you don't lose people. It's not as dangerous, but there are a lot of utilities lots, getting down in the ditch. I mean, years and years and years ago, I saw JC jump down. It was 10 feet down before you hit the line, and there was nothing protecting him. The bottom line is there are so many opportunities to be recognized for doing a great job, and they know that they're appreciated. And of course, we tell them that they're appreciated, but that's all we're
Is it possible, maybe after, do you consider it after big events, just buying lunch for everybody?
Oh, we do. Well, we've even brought,
That's a different way
we
to
bought
do it.
hats and stuff like that. You
Sure,
know.
okay,
I survived, you know.
yeah,
this
so you're
kind of-
doing something.
That's right.
Okay.
But we go to other utilities and you know, they're quick to hand out a lot of stuff. We've got a top tier group in both departments of electric, water, and sewer. And they, I think there's a lot of pride in what they do. We sent a crew to Plateau here a couple of weeks ago with the big storm, the wind. You know, when our system survived very well. Plateau got wiped, and so we asked for volunteers, those that want to go, and we sent a crew up there, a real talented crew, and the manager is astounded because I have a new manager there. They didn't realize. I mean, we just flat did the work. Our people just did the work and set the bar at a different level for them locally. But that's not a surprise. We do that about everywhere we go.
It does. It seems like every time we send a crew out to help our neighbors or something, it always comes back and we get the words back, best crew we ever had. Thank you so much. They, you know, we couldn't believe
That's
what
cool.
they did.
That's great.
This crew in particular, the guy, my contact ever called me and thanked me so much. He said they replaced 5 3-phase poles in one day.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would have given that to a contractor, I might have gotten one replaced in a day.
Yeah. You can't replace a pole if it was 2 in one day.
Would have
You
been
know, it
did a
would
good
have been
job.
Great job.
We got a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right.
I'll take a